Hello and welcome to our Reyker special market update. My name is Alex Baverstock and I'm here today with James Chu, Head of Markets and Investments, and today we'll be covering what's going on today in Hong Kong. So James, please explain the situation out in Hong Kong at the minute.
Okay, thank you Alex for inviting me to join you today. As probably most of the viewers and audience have known, from the news around UK, obviously, that protesters have gathered around the streets in Hong Kong for 7th day, if I remember correctly. Started with students, then it spread to other people, ordinary citizens, supported by a democratic movement called Occupy Central. These students and democratic movement people were against a decision from China in how to implement universal suffrage, or one person, one vote, in 2017. In 2017, the people in Hong Kong need to vote for a new chief executive, similar to the governor in Hong Kong before. Under the basic law, they should have rights to basically one person, one vote to elect that. So China delivered it, but what they just say is the candidates has to come out from an election committee. Is likely to be elected by appointed by Chinese government anyway, and 2 or 3 candidates. Each candidate must get majority vote from the election committee. So many scholars and Occupy Central people and also the students think it's a sham, because basically you screen all the candidates first. Pro-Chinese candidates will be the candidate, but anyone who's have a different voice will be screened out. So that's why they went to the street, and largely peaceful, although during the weekend there was some use of tear gas and pepper spray, but the Hong Kong government then decided to step back. Today and yesterday were holidays because of National Day holidays, and so at the moment seems that things are pretty quiet, although still a lot of people gathering in Hong Kong.
So what do investors need to be monitoring about the Hong Kong situation?
At the moment, the Hong Kong situation is pretty localized. Clearly attracts attention from media around the world. But at the moment, it's just a protest. Relatively peaceful. Over the weekend, there was some use of tear gas, etc., but the police backed down. Also, last couple of days, including today, was national holiday because it is National Day in China, 1st of October. So market is closed. So at the moment, the attention is more on the streets rather than the stock market.
Okay, interesting. So this hasn't affected global markets. Has it affected Asia, or has it actually affected the Hong Kong market itself?
Again, because the market is closed, it's very hard to say. Before the national holiday, the stock market in Hong Kong was probably ignoring a lot what's going on on the streets. It's probably more affected by what's happening outside Hong Kong. In other words, what's happened to the US stock market, European stock market, what happened to Japan, and what happened in China as well. So it's hard to say at the moment. As I said, at the moment it's very localized. Situation is pretty fluid, but it doesn't seem to be spilling over yet to the stock market. We'll probably know tomorrow when the market reopens.
Okay, interesting. So are there any British stocks exposed to Hong Kong, or what's going on there?
Given Hong Kong was a British colony, a lot of the British companies have businesses there. The main ones I can think of in my mind were 2 familiar names, which are British banks. One is Standard Chartered, one is HSBC. Both of these banks make a lot of money out from Hong Kong. So clearly it depends how the situation unfolds. As I said, at the moment the situation is pretty localized. But if something happened that situation deteriorates, riots, police being used, stronger force being used, lead to more condemnation from outside, from Western countries into Hong Kong and China, which, remember, Ukraine and Russia, they bring in sanctions. So that will be the worst case scenario because that will be very disruptive for British companies operating in Hong Kong.
Okay, so do you believe this is going to happen in the long term as well?
I don't have crystal ball. I don't think as things stand, it's probably unlikely because it's actually, I think most of the noise is coming out from official Chinese media and from Hong Kong media as well, from official channels or even from politicians and scholars. Don't think that's going to happen. Probably what the Hong Kong government wants is these people who are on the streets get tired and basically just disperse. Or they got impatient, so they justify using force again to drive the car away. So I think this is going to last not days, probably weeks. So that's one thing that investors to bear in mind. And as I said, at the moment it's pretty localized, but we saw this. Ukraine was pretty localized and soon become quite a thing that affect global stock markets. So investors should keep an eye.
Great, thank you for your time, James.
No problem.
Check out Reyker.com for more market updates.